Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Hello, gang.
You got 6 o'clock already? Oh, perfect. All right, I'm calling the Village of Cross Plains Board of Trustees meeting of June 24th, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Bratton,
Here.
trustee Brunner,
Here.
trustee Borkart, trustee Borkland,
Here.
trustee Paul Mikowski,
Here.
trustee Kettlebaiter,
Here.
president Langfeld.
Here, please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're at public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone to address the village board on any issue. Please observe the time limit of 3 minutes while the village board encourages input from residents it may not discuss or act on any issue that is not duly noticed on the agenda. Do we have anybody?
I did not get any registered comments. I don't.
Can you come on up and please say your name and your address? There's that mic right there. Doug, can you help aim that way and turn it
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that close enough?
Sure.
Awesome. All right, hello, everybody. My name is Emily Meyer. I'm a resident of Cross Plains, and my extended family has been part of the community for 3 generations. I am also a member of the board of directors for Capital Off-Road Pathfinders, which is our local mountain bike trails nonprofit. And I also work full-time for NICA, which is the National Interscholastic Cycling Association, a youth development organization that teaches kids life skills and character development using mountain biking as a tool. So I'm here to speak with you about the upcoming agenda discussion regarding more bike optimized trails in village, specifically mountain biking trails. Mountain biking is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. When I moved to Cross Plains in 2019, I didn't own a mountain bike, but part of the reason I decided to move here was because the village has really excellent outdoor recreation opportunities. So I learned there was a mountain bike trail network across the street from my house, and I decided to buy a bike and learn how to ride. A few months later, I started coaching for our local youth mountain biking team. There's a couple other coaches with me here today. And I learned alongside the kids, and I watched as the team grew from a handful of student athletes in grades 6 through 12 to over 120 kids with 50 volunteer coaches in just a few years. So I watched the kids ride trails here in Cross Plains right up the street, and I watched them learn how to corner bikes, pedal up steep hills, push themselves to be active, and learn something new. And then I watched those same kids volunteer with Ron and Ryan and the core crew showing up because they wanted to get back to the trails that they love so much. After that, I also started working full-time for NICA because I witnessed how the sport helps kids who don't feel at home in traditional sports find a supportive community and a way to be active outdoors for life. So as our team continues to grow and our community continues to grow, the value added by trail systems like this cannot be overstated. From an economic development standpoint, a robust trail system not only attracts new residents, it brings in respectful trail users from across Dane County and across the state. So Dane County has a shortage of mountain biking specific trails. There's more demand than current supply, and as our team, like I said, got 120 kids right now, we get more. By adding to our existing mileage that's available just in our area here, we're adding a really serious draw to our community and providing really valuable practice space for kids too. So in my role in NICA, I've watched communities across the country benefit by embracing trails and specifically mountain biking as a recreational draw. Cross Plains has always been a leader in welcoming outdoor enthusiasts and creating new opportunities. So for the sake of our youth, our current residents and businesses, our future residents and businesses, building these new trails to complement our existing recreation opportunities is a no-brainer. So I strongly encourage the board to support the creation of these new trails in whatever way it can, especially financially, because they're a little expensive. And whenever those new trails are built, our team and board will show up to help continue to steward them with care. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else here?
I'm Jim Stats. I'm also involved with Corp. I live at 7511 Oak Circle Drive, town of Springfield, just outside Cross Plains. But I consider Cross Plains Trails my home, and I'm on the development committee for Capital directors, and I'm here to support the proposal and let the board know, and let the board know that that Corp is behind the proposal. They're a supportive organization and looking for ways to expand mountain biking opportunities around Dane County, and in particular this one, and available to answer any questions when that agenda item comes up. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Right, anybody on internet? No one has their hands up?
Abby, I see you unmuted. Did you want to say something?
All right, we'll close public comment. We'll go to consent agenda. Do I have for a consent agenda, upon request of any trustee, any item may be removed from the consent agenda for separate consideration under general business. Does anybody want to remove any of the items? I'd move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion, and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. So move. Report of village officers. The only thing I have is that's not on the agenda, is I talked to Brian this morning. He's had inquiries onto the administrative position, but we have not received any applications, and so today. That is all I have.
I have, it's Elizabeth Foss, completed 1 year of service on June 30th with us. Matt Hudson completed 2 years of service on 4/25. Nikki Kimball completed 6 years of service with us on June 29th. And Bobby Zonner has completed 8 years as of May 16th. So congratulations, to all of you.
Yes, very good.
Thank you all for all your hard work.
All righty, other trustee report. Anybody? All right, village administrator.
I do not have anything that is not on the agenda.
All righty. Village department heads. Any other reports? It's not on. Who raised their hand? Mike.
I just have one. We will be doing the Noah Messer, the naming of the Noah Messer Memorial Shelter on Sunday, July 7th at 12:45 p.m. It's actually a game that's scheduled, hometown game scheduled between Middleton and Cross Plains.
July, what was it?
July 7th,
7th? 11:45?
12:45. Up at Bear Park. What's the other?
All righty. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. The library turned 60 this year, so I just want to make sure you guys know we're celebrating all month long in July. So we kick things off on July 1st with a library card sign up at Creekside Scoops. If you don't have a card, come join us next Monday and also get free ice cream. And then we're having a birthday party on the 9th, if you want to celebrate that way, or trivia on the 15th. So just wanted to make sure everybody knew about that, and that you were invited. Hopefully you can celebrate.
What time's the birthday party?
4 to 6. We'll have cake, we'll have music, yard games, hopefully weather cooperates.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go to general business. First one, discussion and possible action regarding certification of substantial completion village well project.
Hi, everybody. So 2 years in the making, the well project is what we consider substantially complete. So as a part of the contract documents, there is a certificate of substantial completion. What the definitions are loosely defined, but essentially we want everything operating per its intended use. So you guys shouldn't know any different besides hearing it here, but well 2 and well 3 are functioning. Well 1 has been functioning the entire time, so the village now has the 3 functioning units producing water for the system. This substantial completion certificate marks the start of the 1 year correction period for any warranty items that workmanship items that may come up. In the meantime, you will still see the contractors or the subcontractors' trucks around town doing their punch list, which is the 8-page list of touch up, paint this, clean this, address this, things that don't impact the day-to-day use of the project or the wells, but need to be taken care of before we release the final payment. So there's a window between substantial completion and final completion. We're at that substantial completion for the well project. And then, more excitingly then triggers the step 2 of the PSC rate increase after these 2 substantial completions are authorized.
All right, does anybody have any questions? Jerry, are you comfortable with it? Yep. All right. Do I have a motion?
Proposed to approve the certificate of substantial completion for the village well.
I will second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. So moved. All right, number 2, discussion and possible action regarding certificate of substantial completion Brewery Road project.
Somewhat of a formality for the rate case, or the step 2 of the rates. The Brewery Road project was substantially complete back in October last year when the asphalt was laid down. We do recognize there's some warranty items to be addressed. The village is still holding back some funds. But for, again, intended use, the project was substantially complete back in October. So completing this certificate then finalizes that step 2.
All right, this one's a little bit harder for me because that bike path definitely has at least 4 spots that definitely need to be replaced and worked on. And that's not, you were comfortable with saying that it's with those kind of.
As this has not had final payment, there is still retainage being withheld. There's still money that the contractor is owed and will be coming back to address those. My understanding is they have not been here yet because of the wet conditions, but they're gonna treat all of it as warranty claims with the understanding that the asphalt's not gonna be a patch either. It's gonna be driveway to driveway replacement instead of patchwork. So
Yeah, okay.
in the end, the product will be what you guys paid for, and it'll be a nice product. They recognize there was some issues with some staff there, and it's unfortunate, but it's gonna be addressed shortly.
Is it possible, my big worry is the warranties a year after we vote this.
Right.
So if we vote for it and then they don't do the work until 6 months, now we're only getting a 6-month warranty on it. And we really won't know the damage until next spring, so do you have any idea when they're gonna be coming to do that work? And I know it's been wet, so I understand where the delays are.
Right.
But that's my only concern with this one, is that if it goes bad again on us because they didn't pound it down hard enough or whatever, that it's not under warranty anymore, then we have to pay for it.
Yeah, so typically the warrant, it's not explicitly spelled out, but we would view the warranty items if they're addressed in warranty as you're not off the hook immediately, right? You get to go through another season. If it's bad, we're gonna call you again. It's not explicitly spelled out that way, but that's how we handle the warranty claims, because otherwise you'd be drawing every project out every single time there's a warranty claim. So I'm comfortable that they're gonna be here. I'm comfortable that it's gonna get taken care of. In terms of the timing. If I had eyes in the back of my head, I'd be listening to Jerry, but I have not heard the specific dates aside from they wanted it to dry.
Okay. Jerry, what are your thoughts on it?
Historically, the warranty period for work done under warranty doesn't start until that work is complete. So, in this particular case, the street part, which hasn't shown any defects yet, the 1-year warranty had started. And this paperwork gets signed. Until they get the warranty issues completed on the trail, say it's I don't know, July 15th. The 1-year warranty period for that won't start until then.
Okay.
Because we have to accept the work done on the war.
Okay,
And, yeah, the contractor's not arguing the fact that they need to come back and do it. It's scheduled.
right, my big concern is they fix it, it doesn't get fixed, and now we have to fix it. That's my concern.
Jerry hit the nail on the head. It's the village has not accepted that portion of the work. So that would not fall under the window
Okay.
that we're talking about, the street work.
And isn't there a contract saying it's driveway to driveway? Or is it just a general,
That
we're
is,
going to do that?
There's an email trail.
Okay.
So it's all in writing.
Okay. Any other questions? Can I have a motion, please?
A motion to approve the certificate of substantial completion for the Brewery Road project.
All second. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same. So moved. 3, discussion and possible action regarding inspection proposals for salt reservoir repainting.
so we wind down 2 projects and start up the 3rd, right? Back in February, the board approved the reservoir recoating contract with Lane Tank Company, who's historically been who the village has used for reservoir work. So there's already a level of comfort with them. That being said, we then solicited proposals for part-time inspection of the coatings contractors. We work with the coating manufacturers to develop the specifications, but are, as the consulting engineer, are nowhere near comfortable or qualified to be providing inspection on abrasive blasting of the metal, surface preparation, mill thicknesses. There are specific inspection firms in the state that work directly with villages and communities to make sure that the water tower, the reservoir, whatever infrastructure is being coated is done per specification, and that it lasts for the life that you're expecting it to. That being said, we get proposals from James Orr's Coating Inspection Company, KLM, and then Dixon Engineering. From low to high in your table, including a 1-year warranty inspection where they would come back a year from now to make sure that if there are any defects, they get addressed within that 1-year warranty window that we were just talking about. Jim Orr's inspection price was $26,000, KLM was $28,524, and then Dixon was $44,000 plus. We've worked with Jim on a number of projects. He submitted 25 reference projects across the state. He's done work with us in Argyle. He's done Ridgeway, Beaver Dam, Kenosha, just to name a few. So we're comfortable with recommending him as the low price and also getting quality inspection out of him. So wanted to put that to the board because then assuming that the inspection firm is brought on, they would be a part of the pre-construction conference that we'll have with the contractor, which is still hopefully to be completed in calendar 2020.
I will need a motion now, yep.
I will make a motion that we accept the James Ward Coating Inspection LLC bid.
Second,
A motion and a second, discussion. Cameron?
It's just a question, is this like part of the original quote that we approved in February, or is this like?
This is completely standalone. We do that specifically so that there's no conflict of interest on who the inspection firm is working for. So that contractor bid was specifically, you guys would be paying them to do the work. This is, Jim, you are working for the village of Cross Plains on behalf of the village of Cross Plains for that project. And some of, I guess I'll add some of that, the comfort level on part-time versus full-time is based on who is awarded that bid word and a comfort index with staff. Otherwise, they will offer a full-time service that they're there for every second of every day, checking every drop of paint.
Any other questions? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. So moved. All right,
Thank you.
thank you, appreciate it. Discussion and possible action regarding rezoning half acre of property at 1209 Park Street. Mr. Esser, there. yeah.
Rick Asher, with John Classic Ingenuity. I'm just looking for a approval to rezone this property. From using it for flood mitigation and some additional parking to relieve some of the street parking. Have met with Am and Ryan, and neighbors that would be affected by this, to assure them that this would not have any adverse effect on their property. We've done extensive work with Jewel Associates, the same firm that the village uses for their flood mitigation, to assure us and neighbors that there will be no adverse effects from this. So I think we're in a pretty good place to move forward with that, provided you guys approve the rezone.
Just before we do the motion, this came to plan, and one of the questions, it passed plan. One of the questions that was brought up was, can someone who doesn't own the land rezone it? Because this is owned by the school district, that's who they're purchasing from, which was a good question, I never thought of that before. So we talked with our village attorney, he's fine with it, he says what you can do is make your motion that this gets rezoned condition with a condition that the sale goes through. So this way, if the sale doesn't go through, it stays the same. If we rezone it tonight without that in it, and then it doesn't go through, then the school district's gonna have to come back and rezone it back again, or end up starting to pay taxes. So I would ask that when we do it, if it's okay with you to do this, when we approve this, we have a contingent on the sale going through.
I'll make a motion that the rezoning of 0.5 acres parcel 1209 Park Street is in motion with the contingent of the purchase from the school district.
All right, I think you're gonna have to put it's rezoned from SR3 to L1.
From SR3 to, I don't even see that on here.
It's at the end of it,
Right.
end of number 4.
To SR3 zoning to L1, yeah.
Second.
It's LI, just so everybody, lighting, industrial. Okay, very good. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Doug?
I'm in favor of it.
Okay. All right, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, same. All right, and you got that, Doug, see?
Yep.
Very good, thank you, appreciate it. All right, number 5, discussion and possible action regarding the expansion of the bike optimism multi-use trails within the village open space. Mike?
I'll start us off. In 2017, the Village of Cross Plains entered into a memorandum of understanding or agreement with Corp, which is the capital off-road pathfinders, to construct and or implement our first ever single track mountain biking, mixed use mountain biking course here in the Village of Cross Plains. It's currently up, the agreement is currently to be up on Cedar Hill and Cedar Glen Conservancy. Since that date, in 2018, I believe the first construction project was completed by Corp and their volunteers on the project. And today we're at about 4 miles of single track up and down the hillside. To date, that mountain biking area is called Thriftless Downs. Corp has taken, Corp and or the local trail stewards here have taken all ownership pretty much in regards to making sure maintenance of the current trail is being taken care of, and working with our department of needs about what they can provide. Ron Nutowski is here tonight, as Ron met with us at the Parks meeting last month to discuss the adding additional mountain biking into the village. And he has, tonight, he has within the packet a conceptual plan and their idea to move forward on the newest addition to the village, the Scenic Valley.
Cedar Hill?
Okay, I know Scenic Valley, Scenic Edge, but Scenic Valley subdivision outside west of Cross Point. So I'm here tonight to provide you with some conceptual plans and ideas.
Everyone, my name is Ron Kantowski, as Mike introduced me. I live on Gills Way. I've been a member of the community for 25 years now. So I'm finally feeling like I'm one of the Cross Plains people now. I've been told that after 20 years, that's what happens. So yeah, we have an agreement. We built the trails here, as the photo is up there, with the help of the Parks and Recs Department. And now we are looking to expand it into some area west of the current trail system down KP and the paved path. There's a section of land adjacent to the paved path that we're proposing building a very beginner, learner, kids, more hard surface trail system. I haven't measured it. I measured it, but I don't know the exact distance, but it would be a couple hundred yards. But that would be something that could be all weather. And we're looking to try to fundraise to get that built professionally. So people that build these all over the country can build these types of trails, usable at all times. In addition, we're looking to build additional trail in the hillside adjacent to that part of that property that is also going to be aimed at more beginner friendly as much as possible, with the implications that it is on a hillside. So building that in addition to that front area, that would increase our mileage so that we can have a few more locations, especially for, as Em talked about, the night teams to have more additional places. That land is also part of the Parks and Recs master plan to have a trail system surrounding the community. So that would be a good addition to that part of that parcel, as well as trying to get that village loop trail started. We're proposing this be multi-use for like current trail system, so hikers, snowshoers, fat tire bicycles in the winter, and obviously mountain bikes to use these trails.
I got a couple of questions. I guess one's Mike. I'm all for this, and allowing, our in-kind contribution would be the land. I just want to make sure when the planning goes on that it doesn't interfere with the driftless trail that'll be going through that area. We don't want conflict there, since we've already committed, to that. So as long as it's planned with that, I think it would match up, because I'm correct, it'd be right next to it, right?
Yeah, right next to it.
Yeah, so I
that
just,
trail's already in place, so
You can see it.
where it's red there is kind of what they're discussing about a concept.
yeah, but where's our trails?
So right, it's already there.
But I thought we were widening it.
No, not that one.
That's
Farther
actually,
east.
So this
Oh,
spot,
farther,
yeah,
okay.
so this spot's actually the newest addition to the village.
Right. So that's not gonna be,
Trail is already actually.
so
there.
there's no construction gonna be done?
Correct,
Okay,
nothing yet.
all right, thank you.
Further to the east, there will be.
Okay. Then I'm very comfortable with it. I'm not sure we're in a position to promise any funds right away, as you know, where we are with the budget and what projects we got coming down the road. So, but I'm all for the land being used for this. Fits right in with our branding and what we want for tourism and everything like that. So kudos to your group.
Yeah, I think ideally tonight, if we just get approval from the board to kind of move forward with the conceptual ideas. And so then we will, as staff, add things to our parks and open space plan for the site,
Okay.
along with other park planning, so that we can go out and try and get some grants for the project. Kind of.
It also allows our club to fundraise and get bids, especially the red spot there is slated for professional build. So we'd obviously, volunteers would help with that wherever we can to try to save some money, but in order to get bids, it's imperative that we have approval before we start.
Sure. No, makes sense. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, go ahead,
So
Michael.
you said the red is gonna be professionally built, but the yellow, are you guys planning on building those? Like you did with the other
Yep, so typically we can do that, this section here in the map is a little bit more challenging, but I think that can be volunteer built. If not, then we would look for professionals for that area as well.
Okay, so have you, my question is, did you guys actually walk that, or is that just sort of drawn on the top of the map? Is there some pretty big alleys and stuff up in there, like rock faces? I'm like, I'm not sure you're biking over
You
those.
just made them all really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did walk that, we went out, one of the cold days this winter, we were actually out there. There is a little bit of a challenge, in one general area, and that's where, you know, we may need some more professional builders to come in and assist there. On the other side, part you can't see there across the road, that is much more, volunteer based, it's friendlier building.
Like to the south.
To the south, yeah, that goes to the other, part of the neighborhood there. But there's definitely some sections in there that are, yeah, it's an old quarry.
Yeah, it's pretty risky. I was like, I think the trail's on 20 feet.
You'll note that there's nothing on the eastern side of that bluff, and that's because that is even steeper and, if
You don't
that
want
would
anybody-
ever be explored, that would definitely be a professional. If they were even interested in.
Anybody else? Can I have a motion then?
I make a motion, but I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, what are we mentioning?
Yeah.
Well, that we accept the conceptual plan for,
Scenic Valley.
what, is that outlot one?
Great question.
Whatever the outlots are for Scenic Valley, that's what we're talking about, I guess.
Scenic, you could say the Scenic Valley outlots.
Okay,
We'll try and name them here at some point, so
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're named in the plat, but I'm
I
not.
think just outlot, but yeah.
I make a motion,
So I would, well, I did during discussion.
okay, I'll make a motion to accept the Scenic Valley Conservancy conception, whatever lot it is.
Like for the bike,
For the bikes.
multi-use bike trail.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All right, discussion, go ahead,
So,
Michael.
so like when you saying you want the conceptual approval that goes into the plan, but we we haven't really approved the building of it though yet, have we? We're just approving this plan, we aren't allowing them to go build it right now, are we?
Correct. This is like, they came with a conceptual idea. This would allow them though, I mean, you wouldn't be polling to say, no, we're not gonna allow this. But I would say that, I mean, if we start fundraising and start going out to, ask people for funds, they're not gonna then say no to the project.
Right, okay, well, just because we aren't approving an MOU or anything like that, this is just conceptual.
This is conceptual,
Conceptual
but
plan,
what he's,
update the MOU
And
to include this parcel in there, and that's,
right, and I think what Mike also wants, he's redoing the park and recreation 5-year plan.
right,
So he wants to put it in the plan that this, as a possible use, is for off-road biking,
right, it opens it up.
instead of just conservancy, so.
Right, I understand that. I guess my question is, the MOU would come back to, because we aren't approving an updated MOU right now.
my guess, or my thought process on that was that it would come back to the board and again, consent agenda for approval since you approve this part, but you could always take it off of it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering.
We can
just 'cause-
yeah, the MOU has to be approved by this board,
Right,
so it'll come back to this board. As consent or as an item, we can talk that over.
I was curious what exactly we're approving,
Well, it's the concept of it.
Yeah.
So we're saying, go ahead, take it. If everybody said, no, we want to leave that conservancy, we don't want bikes on there, well, then they weren't gonna move forward with it.
Right, no, I get that. And, yeah, I mean, I'm in favor of it, but I also, we like keeping conservancy, there's a little bit of that in me also.
Doug,
I'm in favor and believe the original one has been a great addition to our community, and I think it's part of what Cross Plains we want to be a destination for various activities, so I like more variety better. Thank you.
all right, anything else? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. So moved. Thank you very much, appreciate it. All right, discussion and possible action regarding the 2023 Compliance Maintenance Annual Report, CMAR. Gary. Okay. Is he running off? Was it that bad?
I'm done.
This is our annual sewer plant report card.
Can you turn on your mic, please? There you go, thank you.
Green light means on.
Yep.
This is our annual sewer plant report card. We did quite well in most areas. Section A, we lost a few points because we didn't find that issue with the sampler tube until partway through the year. And then the section, it's the personnel section. We lost quite a few points because we do not have backup licensed operator at this point. So. Okay, question?
But we passed, right, overall?
Overall, we passed, yes.
Last year we had an F, but that was because of the sensor, the things.
Sampling tube location. That was it.
Well, I did have a question on the, do we have any plans or, to get another certified person? I think the existing second employee is not interested. Is there?
You guys answer that question. It's not the question for me.
Well, I guess the question, to just add to that, do you have any current staff that would like to get certified in that? I think that's what he was asking.
Yeah.
Nope,
Okay. Thank you.
no, nobody that is currently employed is interested. I've asked them.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion? Oh, go ahead.
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to accept the compliance and maintenance annual report as presented.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. So move. Thank you, Jerry.
You got it.
All right, number 7, discussion of possible action regarding new stop signs at intersection of American League Drive and Lewis Street. Chief?
Can you hear me? We received, some complaints regarding that three-way stop, that I did not do that. I was kidding. Obviously, yeah.
The sidewalk.
Oh, no, I don't.
What would you like on the street?
So we received some complaints. I did sit out there and there is a lot of traffic that travels up and down there with, with the, post office and stuff in the area. Resident came to our public safety committee meeting and I won't speak for, Cody, but we're basically, or I'm sorry, Cameron, it's been a long day.
Or
Yeah.
Cody, yeah.
I was thinking about the school buses.
Yeah. It's fair.
So anyway, there's a school bus stop there, there's some things that go on there, there's a lot of traffic. The proposal from the residents is that, especially from the immediate area, is to make that a three-way stop. I didn't receive any opposition to it. Cameron, you can speak about it.
Yeah, came to public safety, the resident came, she voiced the concern, and then Chief Tony said he sat there and saw a lot of traffic and, traffic coming through pretty quick in some cases. And so we thought this would be, the public safety committee had recommended it moving forward. Jay did not make these beautiful drawings, the resident, did make these beautiful drawings, depicting where the stop sign stuff, the current state of affairs.
Go ahead, Judy.
Just asking that, Tony, do you think, yield signs would be rather than stop?
I know that we've had people from DOT here before, his name slips my mind, I think he's underneath, yeah.
Seth Jones.
And he has been adamant that stop signs don't really work that well for controlling traffic.
I mean, yield.
But yield may, I don't know. There's still, it's enforceable, so if we're catching someone blow through that stop sign, it's gonna be a pretty much sure ticket. So I don't know how I feel one way or another. if you were asking my opinion, I'd say stop signs over yield signs.
Yeah, I think just to clarify Seth's position, because we kind of stay the same on that. Stop signs should not be used as speed control. All right, so if the stop sign there is needed to get pedestrians across the street, a safety issue for crossing, biking and stuff, then I would be in favor. If it's there, which I don't think, to slow traffic down, we shouldn't be using stop sign. A yield sign, you want, if it's for pedestrians, you want people to stop. You don't want them to yield. You want them, because technically they're supposed to yield and stop to a pedestrian. Here it stops, kids coming, and I don't know.
I drive that,
Oh, do you?
on that road 6 times a day.
Okay, that I was gonna,
And there's a lot of, like, I'm pretty sure where these kids are at depicts houses that kids live at.
okay,
I don't know that I'd want the stop sign on Lewis Street. The other morning, I was driving to work at 6:30 and was screamed at by someone to slow down. And I looked down and I was going under 25 miles per hour. So like. I walk that road all the time and I've never really seen anyone go blowing through there.
no, I'm not looking, I'm not doing it for speeding, I'm just wondering, is there a value of stopping traffic so the kids can get across without them having to dodge traffic?
I spoke to a resident who lives close to that intersection. He wasn't in favor of putting stop signs there. His wife walks around there. She didn't have any concerns at all. She didn't think it was a pedestrian issue or any concern of theirs at that intersection.
There is, I can't picture exactly where it is, but there is like an Ice Age trail segment that goes up.
Farther down.
Yeah, but like. There's never. There's occasionally families walking, but yet anyone that's on that road lives in that area. Unless it's a kid that's being an idiot, and you're not gonna stop that with a stop sign. Like,
Which also has been a trend, which we have found that, and I know Doug has mentioned it many times, the people that are really not paying attention in those areas of whatever neighborhood you're talking about, they live there. And that's part of the problem, is they get so used to driving those roads and just not paying attention because they're so close to their homes.
Right, but to me, it doesn't matter where the people live with the driving, the question is there a safety value in stopping cars there? Because of the pedestrian with the trail and kids in the neighborhood, so that's how I'm just looking at it, if you think there's a value there, but if it's no more traffic there, pedestrian traffic, than the other intersections, then it's a neutral thing. I'm not up there enough to really know.
According to the person that brought it, they said they had a group of residents that were willing to come and sign a petition or whatever they had to, because of the children in the area, steep driveways, and that it just would be beneficial. Now, when I sat up there, yeah, there's traffic. I didn't make a single stop. There wasn't anybody going super fast or anything. It's kind of.
But did you see a lot of pedestrians by chance?
Well, there's pedestrians.
there's a large group that they'll walk up Lewis, go up, but then they're off the street, they go up, walk the loop, and then come down by my house.
I see.
There are a lot of pedestrians there, but it's a pretty wide road, there's not a lot of on-street parking there, most people are in their driveways.
Okay.
If anything on Lewis Street, I would like to see stop signs is a 4-way at Lewis by the pool. Because there's several times where I've seen cars just go blowing through there, and that's a high traffic for kids area. But I don't see one.
And currently right there's just the one stop sign.
Right.
Coming up. from-
Or very leads.
Can anybody hear me?
Oh,
We can, yep.
Yeah, okay, finally I got my audio. So I was a resident that went to the public safety meeting, and the one that made this beautiful picture. So I just put in pictures of kids where there's houses with kids. I put the school bus at the stop sign on Lewis because that's where my kid who's in the elementary school, she gets dropped off there. We also have a bus come through, and that's where the private school, St. Francis, the kids get picked up. So there's both drop off, pick up at that spot in that intersection. In addition, my child gets dropped off from the public school down by Julius and American Legion, and she has to cross that road. I would definitely argue that a lot of people drive past that intersection really fast. There's been a couple times where my daughter is, she's in kindergarten, so she's not the most attentive, but there's been a couple scares where she's, walking and people are blowing past it. So I would say, yes, it would be helpful just to get kids and families. There's a ton of people that walk up to the trail through this part. So one would be the safety of people crossing that part, but also I would say a lot of people do actually drive really fast. So I would argue that point. And there's just a lot of kids. My neighbor across the street, so my kids are the ones that are actually pictured. I have a 2-year-old, well, almost a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I just had another baby. But across the street, the family, their family dog got hit about a year ago. And I know that a couple houses down, when they did put in the speed meter down the road, somebody would sit outside and a lot of people would definitely go above the speed limit. So I just think it would be helpful for safety reasons. And I don't know if there's really any repercussions to having a stop sign. Yeah, it means people have to stop at it, but I think if it means a more safe environment, I'm for it.
All right, thank you. Judy?
Tony, what's your opinion on those speed signs? Like if we put that in there to make people aware if they are speeding, do you feel like that?
Yeah, I'm all in favor of them. They're just very expensive, so I've been looking for grants and trying to.
Do we have one?
We do, as you come into,
Yeah.
St. Francis,
So we can do that?
and we looked at those in the past, and they're just so expensive to maintain. So that one is solar, and I think that was a grant thing that they were able to.
Did somebody help pay for that?
No, I thought it was the state.
That sounds about
put that
right.
in.
It's part of Keys.
It was a Pease project,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't think we paid that.
We installed it, Chief Tom got it. Got the funding to buy it somewhere, I don't know where.
Usually those are grant funded. They've gotten way expensive, but
But I don't think it's solar, I think there's.
really, okay. You're probably right. It works great.
Could we move it down there for a while?
I don't think
You can't put it, it's limited.
You're thinking of trailer.
You're thinking of the trailer.
The trailer is, that.
Oh, yes.
So
That's the one I think the World's Fair.
that's what she was
yeah.
talking.
Yeah. that's what-
Okay, hang on here, Cody.
I don't wanna sound like I'm being insensitive to someone's safety concern, right? But it's also like are we gonna set a precedent by, okay, one neighborhood, there was a problem. Now there's one where there's another problem. Well, you put a stop signs in here.
Well, I think we should always address neighborhood problems.
Agreed.
The question is, what is the best
Right. I just wanna make sure,
solution to solving the problem?
I just wanna make sure I'm on the record that I'm not discrediting their.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Right, I'm not either, but the road was designed with flow of traffic. They've designed also with the traffic coming down, rather than missing stops at every intersection. Traffic flow is completely disrupted. I mean, you're stopping all, basically what.
Yeah, you don't want, again,
Right.
you don't want to use stop signs to control speed. That is not the proper reason for having a stop sign. Because you're right, and anytime we get a speed complaint, everybody's gonna want stop signs.
Just as a final comment, the public safety committee had listened to all of that, and their recommendation was to put stop signs there. Based on what was presented at the public safety.
We also talked about speed bumps, but that's, we don't wanna make snow plowing and stuff like that more difficult. So, I'd be curious what other, when we did brewery and stuff, we talked about other speed measures, right? Like putting stuff in the middle of the road, but like all of those are not particularly feasible on a,
Well, you could paint the parking lanes real easy. I mean, I just read another article where the busier you make a street, the slower the traffic. They've got all kinds of studies on that now. So just putting parking lanes in, like we did on brewery where you have that, and then you have the double yellow. It narrows the driving lane and it just keeps people's eyes watching.
Visual traffic calming measures.
What?
There's visual traffic.
Yeah, that's,
calming
yeah, exactly, that's what it is, so,
That's exactly what we did on Park Street, right near the school.
yeah, yes. So I mean, see, to me, if we're talking where the main concern is speed, then stop sign to me is not the appropriate, answer to that. If we're talking about pedestrian safety and getting people across, then stop signs would be very appropriate. So that's why I'm trying to gear on what the actual concern is there.
I think it's the kids getting across the street that are getting dropped off at the bus stop. So I would say I would be in favor of the second, if it means getting stop signs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I'm all for safety as well, but I'm not sure that it's so that's not something part of that intersection.
All right, well, it seems like we're pretty split here, so, someone make,
We're also adding to the stop sign. And I'm just thinking out loud, if one would help solve the problem. I understand how the intersection is today, I take a lot, I actually take that much to the right work.
no, if you're gonna put up one on Lewis, you gotta put up the other, otherwise you're gonna have traffic going through and people are just assuming there's a stop sign. Cause there's one where they're cross-eyed. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do both of them. No,
There's already
yeah.
one on American Legion.
Right, I'm talking about on Lewis Street. You can't just have
Oh, I
one
see.
on Lewis. That would not work.
Cause I walk that a lot also. I do think over by the pool, the block ahead is actually where I see a ton of kids and biking and things like that. That's more.
But that's not what's on the agenda. We're talking about this on the agenda. So I guess what we're gonna do here is we need if someone wants to make a motion, it should be in the positive. And then we'll do a roll call vote if it gets second. Otherwise, we just let it lay as it is.
I would like to make the motion to add stop signs, on Lewis Street at Lewis Street and American Legion Drive.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. It's open up for any more discussion.
It just, I guess, I think, you know, if we're gonna talk about visual measures and stuff like that, I mean, when are we gonna realistically do them? Probably not for a long time, you know, so I don't know.
Well,
The road's in pretty rough
You could
shape.
probably do it by the end of the summer if you wanted to. It's just a matter of painting lines, hiring someone to paint lines.
Yeah, one of the reasons I seconded it was to give the public safety committee some more feedback and I've not like very well with the idea. Some more paint and some more.
I don't think you need to take it to the public safety. I think if you don't do this, then you could, I mean, we could bring it back as an agenda item.
Yeah.
I think that something is better than nothing, right? If you decide this gets voted down.
Right, but I just, like I say, I'm hearing both things, and I'm just trying to figure out what the priority, if the priority is speed, then this is good. Those will not do any, if you have stop signs, then you don't need the painting or the pedestrian safety. If speed is in, we don't want to put stop signs in, yes, that's an alternative to speed bumps and other things of making it where there's, calming devices that can be done fairly quickly, fairly inexpensively. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Let's roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bratton,
No.
trustee Brunner,
Yes.
trustee Paul Mikowski,
No.
trustee Borkland,
Yes,
trustee Kettlebaiter,
No,
president Langfeld.
Yes. That was a tie, right? So the motion,
Correct.
so the motion fails.
I don't think we've ever done that, well, at least since I've been.
I don't think we had another one.
So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's go to Number 8, discussion and possible action regarding village police department training budget adjustment.
Well, you guys are voting, I'm not sure.
Well, can I speed this up for us?
Sure.
I know you're down an officer, so you gotta have easily salary savings of over 2,000. So I'm just wondering why it needs to come here, you just don't do a budget adjustment.
Well, I can, but I just thought I'd make sure I let you guys know why I need it. It's, unfortunately, we lost an officer that took up a lot of our budget to get that training, and now we're short, and we still need training. And anytime you hire new staff, especially promote a new sergeant, you're gonna be sending them, and it's not so much the training, it's right now what really kills us is the lodging and the food of sending somebody to 80 hours of training. It's very expensive. So $5,000 doesn't go very far when you have a young staff. So yes, you're right, I could have just requested that to go that route, but I thought I might as well make this a something that you all have an opportunity to see. I hope you understand why I'm doing it.
Right, but I guess my whole thing is you wanna take it from the fund balance, which makes no sense, because all that extra money is going back into the fund balance, so let's just clear everything at the end of the year to go in fund balance and talk with Bobby, so we see on the quarterly report of amendments where the money's going.
But we are giving permission to spend up to that 7,000.
I don't think we should, I mean, if someone wants to, they can, it's not necessary, that's something that the department heads can do as long as they stay within their budgets.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want every time someone moves, if all of a sudden Mike needs new tennis rackets, so he doesn't spend, you know, $200 on arrows, he decides to buy rackets, he doesn't need to come up here to tell us that. That's all would be in the budget amendment memo that Bobby does every quarter. It lists all the changes.
The only reason this is here is because I was advised by the village administrator at the time to do that this way.
If people feel strongly that they want to make a motion that he can spend $7,000, that's fine, but to me, if it comes to 7,500, that's fine too. As long as he can make it in his budget, and I know salary savings has got to be saving him close to $1,000 a week, I would think.
Yeah, I don't think we need a motion.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're okay with
I
that?
As long as you guys are okay. with
Yeah,
that.
we're okay with it. All right.
Well, I guess just when we do budgets and stuff at the turn of the years, it's just something Tony has to account for when.
Well, his old budget was gonna say 5,000, his new one says 7.
Right, yeah, and we'll just approve that.
Yeah, if he wants, yeah, he can do a supplement to bump it, or however he wants to move. That, when we do the budget, we give them on the percentage of what,
Right.
how they move it is totally up to them. So he may choose to put 8,000 in next year and have 3,000 less in supplies or something else. We leave that in. If he can't do it, then he does a supplement, so.
I will say I appreciate the transparency.
Yeah, I do too. I'm just trying to. I don't want everybody coming up every time they want to move money, because that's not how we set it up. All right, discussion and possible action regarding village police department outside employment. Well,
Okay, so this was brought to me by staff. They wanted the opportunity to work UW football games. It's been a long-standing tradition at UW to extend that to officers. I know there's some agencies that do not partake. And I don't think that this department has ever taken that on, but the new staff, younger, like football games, like the excitement of it, pays well. It's something I would support. The only main thing for me was getting it all ironed out, because they will be in their uniforms and will be wearing some of their equipment. So I wanted to make sure who is going to take care of what, and it sounds like they pretty much take care of everything. They do provide them some equipment that they will have there. They do have to go through a training. Again, it's paid, everything is paid for by UW. We don't have to be involved even within our budget. It's just a matter of them being off. And they understand that that can't affect their regular duties, and we are still going to maintain 16 hours of coverage, which is what I said as standard. So I think, it's well thought out, something I support. I don't see any issues with this, so.
I'm all here.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Why I was smiling was, I'm not sure why this didn't fall under the current policy you already have.
It does fall under the current policy. The
Right.
difference is that we're using our own equipment, our own.
Oh, I see.
So yeah,
Because they're gonna be identified. I see.
So it's,
Okay.
you're gonna be identified as an officer, so my biggest concern of the whole thing was liability, as you well know, UW's had their issues and they've had stuff, and you're gonna have badges and patches that represent Cross Plains on those fields. So I wanted this here and you guys give it the thumbs up. If it didn't have that, I would have already approved it.
Our squad cars aren't going down there now, right? Personal vehicles.
Just,
You just go as a person.
yeah, just the uniforms.
I did one of them. That's all, my whole career. It wasn't worth having coke thrown at you on
They probably didn't. want you to
pennies
come back.
and ice for those few bucks. It just wasn't worth it.
There's chiefs go down there and work.
Oh, yeah, there's some cops who've been doing it for their whole career.
So
Yeah, it wasn't like.
it's not an issue. The only thing that I really wanted you to see is the liability and the fact that we're using our equipment and our stuff.
When you say liability, you're covered under UW, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
And-
you're
yeah.
sure, because you're working for them technically
Right.
for that time period?
Right.
But for sure, okay.
But, I mean, it's a civil lawsuit's a civil lawsuit, right? So you're wearing this patch, you're wearing this badge. I mean, you're representing us at UW football teams. So I wanted to make sure you understood that you're sending them off in our stuff. If they were just signing up and using UW stuff, we already have a policy that covers that. That would, this is not, that's.
All right. Doug?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
To approve, prospect officers being allowed to work at UW football games.
Well, do we want to limit it for that, or do you want specifically to UW, which is outside employment?
No, just UW.
Okay.
Because they already have.
We
a
already
policy.
have policies that are temporary.
I'll second.
All right, so I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. All right, number 10, we're gonna take these A through E, just so everybody
Yep.
knows that. For number 10. And this is discussion and possible action regarding approval and renewal of the following licenses classes for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th of 2025, it should say. Says 2024.
You bet. That
It
is
should
what it
say-
should say.
It should say 2025, all right? So everybody knows that?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we'll do A. Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve the cigarette and tobacco / vapor products retail license.
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. So move.
I motion to approve the Class A intoxicating liquor and Class A fermented malt beverage licenses.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. C.
Motion to approve the Class B intoxicating liquor and Class B fermented malt beverages.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. So moved.
I have a question on this, on 4, it says Class C wine and Class B fermented, but we did that on the line above.
So
They're combinations.
we only have 7 Class B intoxicating liquor licenses and they're all used up. So the Class C wine. And Class B fermented meal, that means, so that's for the coffee shop, so that's so they can sell wine and beer, but they
Okay.
can't sell vodka.
So
or-
that's correct. It was-
That is correct, yep.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And kind of on that side note for that, we did get reached out to by 2100 American Legion Drive. For their event space, they were looking for a liquor license. I told them that there wasn't one available unless they wanted to pay the $10,000 fee for the reserve license. So they might be coming in the next month or two for the Class C wine and Class B beer.
But correct me if I'm wrong, and since we're talking, I guess. It's my understanding that that's not an automatic 10,000. A village can rebate some of that. No,
I don't think so.
that's what, I thought a community that I just read an article they did. They charged a 10,000, but then the village gave a rebate to the business. I'll
We
try-
could check with the Department of,
Was that the Tumblr with Hilltop?
I don't know, so I saw it somewhere where they got around that by the state charge it, that's a state thing. Right? Or-
No, we keep it.
Yeah, we keep it, but it's a state law.
It is a
that says
state
we have
law.
to do that,
that's why I don't know if we can,
but I don't think there's anything in the state law that says you can't rebate money back to a business, but anyways, that's something we can look at, but that's
Yeah.
fine. All right,
I have a motion to approve the Class C
I
wine.
thought,
there's no motion yet.
oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I motion to approve the Class C wine and Class B fermented malt beverage licenses.
I'm
sorry.
One of those two.
I have a motion in a second.
We had
Any
to fight for a
discussion?
second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. So moved.
I motion to approve the operator and bartenders licenses.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. All right, we're good? All right,
Jay,
okay.
here's this storm coming. It's pretty bad. My kids need me.
Oh, gotcha.
I apologize.
No, that's all right.
It's bad.
Huh?
It's gonna get bad.
Yeah, I was just watching the radar. It's still right here.
Okay. All right, discussion and possible action regarding village administrator sick leave conversion and donation to village sick leave emergency fund. This one's got like 4 parts to it, at least when you read the executive part. So I'm not familiar what 20 hours accrued credit is. And I question, and this is, I'm thinking we can do this outside this meeting because the agenda item is only for the administrator sick leave conversion. But it says that he has a balance of 48 hours, but yet he's gonna take 2 weeks off, and in his contract, it's 120 hours, but it's prorated to how long you're here. So if he's here to the middle of July, that's 65 hours, so I don't know how we come up with 48.
I'm not sure why he has his other leave balances in this.
Okay.
Because he's only talking about converting his sick leave balance. So yeah, again, I'm not sure why he put all that extra information in there.
All right, so we're gonna split this into 2 things. One, and it doesn't necessarily, they don't have to be motions, is Brian's request to convert his sick leave conversion is 1. And 2 would be, do we want to start sick leave emergency fund? And I'd rather work with the latter. I think that needs to be kicked back to department heads to define what that means. Is there gonna be a cap to it? What are the rules on people can tap into it? Do they have to use their own? What are the things that they can use it for? You know, can they use it to take care of an elderly parent? I mean, I think it needs to be, I'm not comfortable voting one way or the other until I know what you guys are thinking about.
I was just saying, I don't think his intent was for us to pay out his sick leave balance. I think he wants to say, I have 212 hours. I want to donate it to this emergency fund to start that fund.
Right, and I understand that, but the
Okay.
question is. What is that emergency fund? How does it work? What are the rules to it?
Right, yes, we need to work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think he was just kind of
comfortable
proposing.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable in voting it one way or the other. I think we should refer that one back to the department heads to define what they see this program to look like. And you don't think he's looking to,
I think,
I thought you wanted to get paid over.
reading this, I think what he's doing is that somehow he's saying 48 hours of vacation with whatever the 20 hours of accrual is 68, you add that to the 12 hours of 60,
And you get
it's
the 80.
80 hours, which is the one final payout that he wants by.
That's how I read
That's
it.
what I think he wants one payment to be, that's how you get to 80 hours, and then the rest of the sick leave, he talks about donating, is what
Right.
he's trying to do.
I agree with Michael's read is how I read it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's 4 different sections there.
What do you
Right?
mean?
First, we gotta figure out, do we owe him 48 hours worth?
Right.
I wanna see the math on that, cause I can't get the numbers to work out. I guess we need a little bit more definition on accrued credit.
Yeah, like, do those actually exist, like what you're saying, is that actually?
Well, that and how is it, yeah, I've never seen anybody pay it out, but anyways. And then the third one is the whole thing of paying out sick time, and I guess I'm leaning not to do at least that part of it, because that opens the door, and we just have had other people leave and we haven't, and there was somebody who wanted something like that, who had been here forever and was maxed out.
And we're not ready.
We're not, no,
As I say, so his 48 hours comes from, he carried over 40 hours, but he used that. So if he had worked the whole year, he'd get 80 hours in 2024. So he
or
worked-
you could get 120. I read his
Contract?
contract. His contract.
okay, well, then he should have more of them. Unless
But-
he
but
used,
it-
maybe he used, them. But in any
That's
event,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
I looked at the 120. Took it in half, because a half a year would be
Yep.
end of June,
Yep.
that's 60, then half of July would be 5 more hours, so it's 65 hours. Is what we owe them for 2024.
So I.
That's what I mean, we gotta sit down.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say,
figure
'cause
out How we got the number.
I have a whole different question, with this leave balance when he leaves, he gets paid out those hours that he's earned, is that correct?
but he's
No.
using them this week and next week.
Oh, he's, but he, so.
So he
does-
won't, he
does-
should not get a payout for anything.
No, he gets a payout for vacation. In his contract, it says any unused balance of vacation and holiday, he gets paid out. All right,
That's what I was asking. And-
Yes.
But you're saying he's not gonna have any because he's taking this time off right now, Bobby?
What I was looking at, he was using it this week and next week, but I will double check
yeah,
what
we
he
gotta
is
check
getting.
on that, because it's confused, when I saw the 48 hours, I was trying to figure out how that worked out. Cause I know he's got 9 days, 5 days this week, 4 days next week, this.
Oh, there's a holiday next week,
Holiday, and then I thought he was in Arizona or Las Vegas in February or March, anyways, we gotta figure
But
it
this, I mean, he did it at 40 hours he carried over from last year, so I think
Okay.
that's what got used at the beginning of the year, was that carry
Oh,
over.
okay, well anyways, we gotta figure it out.
Yep.
So I mean, the real question we have to ask is, do we wanna pay out the sick leave
Yeah.
to him?
But we don't do that,
We have never done that,
uh,
except for when
higher.
retirees, we converted to pay health insurance.
Right.
Correct.
So, right. And we don't know anything about creating a sick leave balance fund.
No, that has to be worked out. I'm not saying it's not a bad idea. It's just that you gotta kind of figure out the rules to it before you do something like
I was
So-
confused reading it up, so.
that. Okay, it's not, we can always give, if we decide something, the week he gets back, let's just sit down and figure it out, the numbers and exactly what he's looking for. We can always mail him a check if it turns out that way.
And I think when he wrote this, he was planning to be here tonight, because he was originally gonna
Yeah,
work this
I know.
week, so I think he was
Right.
planning to be at.
And
this
that,
meeting when he
I
wrote
asked him
this.
to switch the week, so we wouldn't get stuck. Yeah, okay, so let's just leave this lay right now, and I'm gonna try to figure it out where the numbers are coming from. Everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah.
All right, number 12, discussion and possible action regarding use of excess village fund balance. What's that?
We don't have.
Yeah, we have a fund balance. We have a big one right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the emergency fund balance. Never mind. You're right. I was looking at 11.
You wanna go through this?
I think this originally not originally, but Michael, I think, had sent an email kind of saying, hey, what are we thinking we're gonna do with this? And I know I had read an article couple months ago, Middleton had a huge fund balance too, mostly because of interest income and they, you know, planned out how they were gonna spend it. And so I think I came up with a couple of kind of things here. You know, do we want to use all of it? Do we want to use part of it? Do we want to hang on to it for another year and see, you know, use it for the new building? Or maybe,
And I guess my whole thing is, I would be in favor of either going down to 25%, but I think we need to keep it at the high. I don't want to go down to 20% and have to try to budget to get it to 20% the next year if something happens. So I would go along with the 25%, but I would also go along with just keeping it all because of what were the projects that are coming forward. But I could go with either one of those options. I just don't want to go down to 20%. What are other people's thoughts?
And what would we do with the, if you went down to 75%, if you went down to 25%?
If I went the extra one off what Michael had.
so it's like 200,000. If we use $200,000, then we would still have 25%. So what would we spend it?
And that $200,000 could be applied to our capital borrow, so we don't borrow $200,000.
Yeah.
Use the $200,000. So I'm fine with going down to the 25, so we keep 5% above, but anything above the 25, we roll toward, we're gonna say where we roll it toward capital or what?
Well, I think we should hold off until the budget comes, until we start talking about the budget.
Well, we haven't.
So you
done our
did to
capital-
reduce
Oh, you're looking to
2025,
do it.
We haven't done our borrow for the stuff.
Oh, I see what you're
Just
saying.
knock our borrow
to
down
borrow
this
less
year.
this.
I see what you're, oh, okay.
We have to, yeah, because if we do that, we aren't borrowing.
Yeah, no. I guess I'm comfortable with putting it against what being borrowed.
Yeah, that was me to start borrowing.
Yeah, with interest rates, we should
Yeah.
borrow less.
Yeah, that was the whole idea of borrowing, I mean, granted, in there, we are gaining interest against it, but I always like keeping debt down is a good idea.
Yeah, no, like I say, I just think I think we're all in agreement that we want to keep it at the high end of our range, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
what we're going into.
Okay.
All right. And you're not in favor of just leaving it as is, you pretty much wanna,
I would like to use just 200.
Okay.
For the borrow, just to reduce the borrow, because we're gonna be borrowing possibly a bunch of money for the village hall. I mean, reducing debt is just the.
yeah, no,
idea.
okay.
And we have then 25%, so we're 5% above our policy, let's use.
Doesn't our policy say 20 to 25%?
I think it just has a minimum of 20.
Oh, gotcha.
That's how it's worded.
All right.
And I agree, keeping the 5% above the 20 is good, because who knows what's gonna happen to the budget, we keep a buffer then.
Yeah, right, what are your thoughts?
No, I agree, I think 25% is good. Let's reduce that.
Doug, you okay with that? All right, sir. All right, let's someone make a motion then.
I'll make a motion to move our general fund balance to the 25% level, with the overage above 25% being used to help finance our capital projects this year.
We'll say this year, 2024.
Or our next capital borrow.
There we go, that's
I'll
fine.
second.
All right, I got a motion and a second, discussion. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same, so move. All right, 13, discussion regarding 2025 village budget goals. Does anybody have a budget goal that they would like to throw out there right now? And I'll put into the memo. If we agree on it. Otherwise, I'll throw something. Well, I won't throw something. I actually spend a lot of time writing it out.
Like, by that, you mean like how, we increase operating by 2%, is that considered budget goal?
Yeah, and when we talked about, one of them, that if Michael, and I discussed, because in the audit, it talked about the milestone rate going up 3 points over the 10-year treasury. So it'll be in there that we should be looking to negotiate with milestone and paying that off early, so we don't have the interest rates. Another one that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put in there is that we should maintain or preferably lower the amount of investment income that we're using for the operating budget. from last year. So that, concrete goals that they can reach. So does anybody have anything? If not, you can always email me with something and but it's gotta be an objective one.
Sure. Are you thinking you're gonna go 2%?
I'm not gonna, not until I look at all the numbers. Right now, I'm just collecting all the numbers.
Yeah, you don't know what that amounts to.
Right,
to be.
right. I need to figure that out. I need to figure what priorities and stuff and, just look at things. So, I can't say right now, and it would be just a sheer guess. But the,
Well, like our operating budget goes up 2% is what I mean, like, but
and you gotta, and remember, what this memo does, it just sets the bar. And if they wanna go over, they just have to do a supplement. I mean, and you guys are all gonna have say on it, so even if you don't agree with one of the things in there, it's just to give some direction.
Yeah, I don't have anything specific on.
Right.
Line item, goal.
All right. So then the last one is Village Hall and Police Station update. What you were given there was the first shot at the square footage and the budget. The budget is fairly close to being online. It looks high, but if you take out some of the stuff we've already done in it, I think we're pretty close. Square footage was, if you look, is higher, but if you pull it, we already pulled out one of the items in there, and I just did the numbers a couple days ago. And the actual square footage that staff is looking at came to about almost 10,000 square foot. When you do the net gross, it was at 15,313, so we're very close on that. So even though this one here shows us at 17,153, we've already just in our discussion narrowed that down. That's at 15,313. So I'll keep you informed. I am hoping that you guys get some a survey and some input on that. I'm struggling to get the architects. I've brought it up at the last two meetings and I have not seen anything. So if you see this, please take the time to fill out the survey on the building. Because I'm pushing hard, so you guys have direct input during the programming. As you can see, we've already gone pretty far into the programming. But we're clearly not done. So if you do get one, and we have our next meeting July 1st, and if we don't have it by then, I will be pushing again. Bobby.
I was just gonna ask, I know I was gone last week, but you said you guys cut down square footage already?
What?
I was gonna say, who decided that? Cause
The group did, and it's the one that was not part of it's the 4 indoor parking stalls under the administrative
okay,
part, comes up to 1,600.
yeah. Okay.
That's the only thing.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, I know I wasn't here, but I didn't know if you guys
No.
had met, cause I know we're meeting Wednesday to kind of.
Right, and
talk
Wednesday
about
we'll
this
be
too.
doing a lot more. The problem with this, in my opinion, the process is they gave us all this information. It was mailed out noon on the day of our meeting, and then we went through line item, and it was very difficult. For me, looking at just the square footage, I have to look at what that room size means. Just because they throw a number out there. So it took me some time, and I wish they would get this stuff out a week ahead of time, so when we get to the discussion part, we have an opportunity. So we're kind of taking that on our own. We're gonna meet Wednesday to go through and then send it to them, so we're not wasting their time or our time.
Yeah, cause I think we had a
Going
couple of these where we wanted to adjust a few up and a few down, and obviously my personal opinion is we need more storage than they're proposing, and so, yeah, we're gonna have a discussion Wednesday
Yeah.
to
But I just
tweak some
want,
of these.
I think it's important that you guys stay informed all the way through, so I'm gonna have this as a standard. Item for every board meeting. That I'll
Like
keep
the
you.
update on.
Mhm.
And so what you remove, or what you guys have already agreed to remove was the parking stalls 4 and 200 square feet each, so 800 square feet. That section is,
Yeah,
okay,
and
Right.
then they do a multiplier for gross of 2 for parking, so it's 1,600.
right. And then was there any, like, I guess just to like Bobby's point, it sounds like Bobby might have some concerns with like how much storage, like would we reappropriate some of that space?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
talk
that's
about
what
on
it's about.
Wednesday, yeah.
I just wanted to show you the first shot, just like there's 5 bathrooms in the police department. I don't think we need 5 bathrooms in the police department for 7, 8 employees. So there's a number of things that, yeah, like I say, this was their first shot. And it was our first shot looking at it, so I just, again, don't read too much into this. This is just, this was like what you would call the brainstorming part of it. And I just wanted to let you know, I'm gonna keep you informed, because I think it's important that it is.
Did you say something about a survey? Or-
Yeah.
What-
See,
what
so
is that?
here.
Where is that? Or-
Okay, here's the process that we obviously did this, the boards, right, for the community input.
Right.
So then for staff, they sent out a survey and then they interviewed staff,
Oh,
okay? Now, I'm on that committee and I figure the board is a stakeholder. So I have brought it up a couple times that, one, the board hasn't received, a survey nor an opportunity to be interviewed to give our 2 cents worth. So it's been a struggle that way for me. So I've just decided that I'm gonna keep pushing for at least the survey part of it. And then I'm gonna try to get ahead of the game on giving input from the board, on it, so.
okay, this was a survey for the board, not a survey for the public.
No, it's
Yeah,
just board
okay.
members.
Yeah, okay, that's,
But staff members have done.
Yeah,
We have done
staff has already done it, so
Okay.
it's a matter, I believe you guys are stakeholders.
right.
And part of the deal is stakeholders get input into the building. So
Okay.
anyways, but what I'm asking you is if you get it, don't blow it off, please, because that'll make me look bad.
Oh, right.
That I'm pushing so hard for you to get a survey and then no one returns it. You know what I mean?
I do, okay, yeah, that's what I was.
Yes,
Those clarifications.
that's reading between the lines, do
Yeah.
the survey.
Right, I get it.
All right. Future agenda items. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. I will second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. So moved. Meeting is over. Let's try to get to our cars and not get soaked and
Yeah.
hopefully, I didn't think this was coming until midnight.
After midnight, they just.
Yeah.
On the news.
Yeah, that's what I thought they said.
They're spot on.
Cody is a better radar